Hi guys. So we are here tonight with Donald.hooton Jr. and he is with the Donald.hooton Foundation. And we want to thank you for being here with us tonight.
Thank you for having me. This is cool.
Yeah, we've been chit-chatting for a few minutes, just talking about all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to let you guys know, as all videos, when as we're talking, you can type a question in that you might have for Don, and we'll make sure that we post his information, his website, even though he can give that too while we're on talking, but we'll make sure that we put all that information in. And then if you have anything that we can post, like a flyer or website, anything that would help the parents or anybody that wants some more information about what we're talking about, so we can also do that.
Certainly.
All right.
Certainly we can do that.
So tell us about Taylor, and then tell us about the foundation and what you guys are doing.
Okay. So my younger brother Taylor was a high school athlete. He was a really good student. Loved his friends. He was carrying a 3.75 grade point average. And, even today, so many of our young people are still told, if he wanted to compete in varsity sports, or he wanted to play collegiate sports or even professional sports, he needed to get bigger, stronger, and faster in order to do so. And so his coach told him to do this, and what the coach didn't realize at the time were half of the kids on Taylor's baseball team were actively using anabolic steroids. So Taylor didn't need to look far to find out how his teammates and his friends were achieving their physical goals. And Taylor began purchasing his anabolic steroids. He was actually buying them at a local YMCA and began injecting himself. And one of the side effects that we'll talk about that is brought on by the use of anabolic steroids is depression. So, you have a 16-year-old young man who is now altering the hormones in his body via the anabolic steroids, and Taylor's doctor recommended that he quit cold turkey. So you now have a 16, 17-year-old young man that's no longer producing natural testosterone or supplementing the synthetic testosterone or anabolic steroids. And Taylor ended up in a depression that was serious enough that he took his life.
I'm so sorry. So sorry. So tell us what you guys are doing with all of that and the good stuff y'all are doing.
Certainly. My parents, were just looking for answers and what went wrong here, and we formed the Donald.hooton Foundation in his name. And, the whole purpose and genesis of the foundation is to enlighten people about the truths of appearance and performance enhancing substances. So the Donald.hooton Foundation was born. We've now impacted nearly 2 million lives directly with our All Me Assembly programs. Wow. So we travel the country, giving assembly programs on appearance and performance enhancing substances. And we also talk to young people about nutrition and dietary supplement safety.
Wow. So tell us a little bit about the All Me.
Okay.
So what y'all do with that? You like high schools? Because I see posts that you guys do when you go to colleges and things like that. So tell us a little bit about that too.
Okay. So, after about 7 or 8 years of delivering education programs, we'll always continue to believe that education is key. That's how we need to reach people. But what could we do outside of education to inspire people to want to live and compete performance enhancing drug free? And so we came up, and it's All Me is now a registered trademark of the Donald.hooton Foundation, which is really cool.
Yes.
And it was actually one of our board members sitting around. He's like, "What about All Me? Just what God gave you, And I was like, "Man, that's really cool. That's a great idea." And so we said, all right, so we need some star power behind this. We need to find celebrities and people that have done things the right way, that have made it to the pinnacle of their sport without the use of drugs. And we reached out to Commissioner Bud Selig, who was the commissioner of Major League Baseball at the time, and said, can we approach all 30 of your clubs and ask that one player from each team voluntarily step forward to join what we call our MLB Advisory Board or All Me League? And we thought we'd be really successful if we could get 5 players to step forward. And I'm proud to tell everybody that we have 35 Major League Baseball players representing all 30 Major League Baseball teams.
That is awesome. Yeah. Fantastic. And that just happened within just a matter of...
It's been about 2.5 years, 3 years,
So what part do they play in the All Me?
Okay, so no, great question. So for you Texas Rangers fans, since we're here in Texas, our advisory board member for the Rangers is Elvis Andrus. So Elvis lends his image. In fact, all of the images that we use for what we call our public service announcements is fully donated by Getty Images.
Okay.
And Elvis lends the use of his image for us to run video PSAs, print PSAs. And each year, actually, Elvis will bring kids into the stadium, and we'll do a education program about appearance and performance enhancing substances, and then Elvis will come in and talk with them about how to do things the right way, and that cheating is not the answer, and there are no shortcuts in life, and it's all hard work. So it's you have a role model like that actually giving the kids, really good ideas and inspiring them to want to do things without the use of drugs.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So does that happen with each one of that group, wherever their team is? I mean, are they doing the same thing as here with the Texas Rangers?
Certainly. So we as part of our partnership with Major League Baseball, we do programs in all 30 Major League parks with the professional baseball athletic trainers.
Okay.
And they have a program called PLAY, which stands for Promoting a Lifetime of Activity for Youth. So we're a small part of that program where, we get to educate, the kids about, all the things they shouldn't be doing. And then they learn from the guys that take care of these players of how to do things the right way. And then what we do is we always ask our advisory board member for each team to come out, and some of the guys will spend all day with these kids, and it's just amazing to watch them out on the field and just watch their eyes just focus on these players, because for a lot of them it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Sure.
But there's nobody better to learn it from.
Absolutely. Like you said, what great role models. So what other programs do you guys have other than that's within the foundation?
So we have what we call our All Me Assembly programs,
Okay.
and we offer two of them. Our sort of flagship program, which is a 60-minute multimedia program that will go into middle schools, high schools, and colleges, athletic trainer associations to deliver, is delivered via PowerPoint with audio and video, but narrated with one of our trained speakers. And so what we do is we'll go into a school, and our flagship program is about appearance and performance enhancing substances. So we talk about the dietary supplement industry and the lack of regulation. We talk about anabolic steroids. We talk about human growth hormone. But we also talk about, what our kids struggle with today, and that can be body image and self-esteem, and why they turn to some of these substances. And the great thing is about 2 years ago, we hired Tavis Piatoli, who is a sports dietitian. And, Tavis has helped us develop a brand new program called Nutrition and Dietary Supplement Safety. And what it does is it teaches adult influencers, young people, kids, how to achieve all their physical goals through food and using dietary supplements safely and finding good certified products.
That is phenomenal. So do you hear back from parents or the kids once you've reached out, in a group form or anything like that? What's your feedback on this? It's got to be really good.
It
cool.
is. And what shocks a lot of people is they would just assume that this is a topic that's being covered in health class or PE or science or whatever the case might be, and this is just a topic that is not being covered in our schools. So when you see a pre and a post test that has been done on one of our programs, you'll quickly see the lack of knowledge that the young people had before, and even adults, and then just how much information they learned from our program. And then that's when you start getting questions. In fact, recently we just did a program at a local high school here in Colleyville, and we got tremendous feedback. But the biggest thing we got was, wow, after you guys left, the amount of questions that came from the kids, and that how engaged they were and wanted to learn more.
Wow.
Which I think is just a wonderful thing. It starts
awesome.
a conversation.
Yes. So, and because I don't know a lot about this, it's not just is it used for other than just kids that are playing sports? I mean, do you see that in the other, I guess, I don't know if I want to say group of kids, but outside of sports use?
Certainly.
Where does that happen, and do you see that happening at all?
Certainly, and I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of people, in fact the majority of this country when we serve them, believe that this is just going on in professional sports or even collegiate sports. The last survey that was done in middle schools and high schools, and this was done males and females, athletes and non-athletes. The number one reason that young people admit to using these drugs is to look better and second is to feel better about themselves. So, the majority of people that are using these drugs really have no desire to compete, but it's all fueled about the way I look. And, you look out on social media and Instagram and all these different platforms, everybody taking pictures of themselves, and they feel like, they have to have what society considers, this perfect body image to fit in and want to be loved by their friends and just part of that social group.
So I'm going to just ask this as a parent myself. How do you know it? What can you tell, if you see something different going on with your child and that they haven't had surgery or, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing? Is there something that other than the sports part, but of course the sports, just I guess all the way around, what does a parent look for just to be able to go, something's a little off there? How, what would they be able to notice immediately?
So, I'll use my brother as a perfect example. One of the things my parents noticed immediately was a quick weight gain. Taylor had put on about 30 pounds within about 6 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, a lot of people would be rewarded for that sort of behavior, those sort of changes in their body. But what we have to understand is the human body, that's impossible without the use of drugs. Just the sudden desire to work out a lot, where they might be going to the gym a couple days a week. Now they're going 6-7 days a week, or they're going twice a day. That's definitely something to be concerning about. But the other thing is, I always like to tell parents is ask your young people, they come to you about losing weight, or they're talking about losing weight, or, I really need to put on a lot of muscle, this and that. Ask them why. There's always a root cause to that. They want to fit in, or, they want to look like somebody in a magazine, or whatever the case might be. And our bodies need time to develop. The other thing I would definitely put a red flag up on is if you start seeing a young person taking a lot of dietary supplements, right? So if they're like, hey, I need more protein, or, I need pre-workouts, like something to give me energy before I go to the gym, or, they're using testosterone boosters or something to help gain muscle. Those are some things I'd be really concerned about, simply because the lack of regulation in the dietary supplement industry. They can pick up illegal or banned substances in those products that are sitting on our shelves today.
Okay.
So asking young people, getting more information, again, we'll give the website out, but we've got an email address and all that sort of stuff. If you have questions on that sort of thing, that's the type of resource we would like to provide parents with, so that they can ask those questions. But, as I think, with any parent, you definitely just want to tell people that, hey, or, talk with your kids, like find out what's going on with them, and definitely talk with them about this subject.
Okay. So do you have resources on your website of, say, a parent does have a concern and they don't want to call their regular doctor or their, a pediatric doctor? Is there somewhere, or can they call your phone number that's listed to be able to reach out for resources, just to
Certainly.
say, hey, we've got some questions, we've got concerns? Is that available?
Absolutely.
And then you guys can put them maybe in the right direction?
Absolutely. And we have a network of doctors that we work with if there's medical concerns that we can refer them to. But our website, Donald.hooton.org, has a wealth of information. Everything from side effects, what to look for. We even have a whole section on, as parents, how to talk to your kids about this topic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And things that, let's say their kids are playing sports, things they might want to ask the coach.
Okay.
But if they're not playing sports, things they want to sit down and ask their young person, and, let them know that they are there for them. And, again, if it's something where somebody is looking to change their physical appearance, there's ways to do it with food and exercise. And
Sure.
we have that information as well.
Okay, so it's on your website.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what we'll do is, when we're done, we'll make sure that we get that link put on to the website, or on our Facebook page, so that you guys have that. And is it printable? I mean, some parents might want to have it, that kind of, is it like a document to where they can print it off, or is it something that if there's a page or two that we can always add here to our Facebook page to attach to the link here of this video? Is that what would you suggest?
I could probably send you a link. We will have a couple of PDFs that you could download from our page, but most of it is going to be text.
Okay.
If somebody would like any of the information that's on our website, or we've made little how to spot steroid user cards, like little things like that.
Oh, okay.
So if there's something specific somebody would want, we're not a huge organization by any means, but we do have people that really care, that want to help others, so that we'll create something if we don't have it.
Okay, so just reach out to Dawn through the website. And so I guess I have a ton of questions, but I wanted to see. And again, if anybody has any questions, please don't hesitate to type into the comments, because that's why we're here. Is we've got Donald's full attention, or our full attention, and we want to make sure that we get any questions that are asked. If you come up with something later, feel free to go ahead and type it in. And then if you want to keep it anonymous, we totally understand. You can either PM me, or you can reach out to Dawn and also do it that way if you want to kind of keep it anonymous. If you think something's going on, you can always reach out to him anonymously.
Perfect. And one of the things I can monitor the comments as well, and kind of go in there and ask, answer any questions that people might have.
Okay, so there's good. So if you guys have something, Dawn can go in later also and answer anything. So I guess we've got a little bit of time left, and there's no questions yet, but please ask. And so tell us some more things about what y'all are doing and what's in the future. I know you guys do a lot of fun fundraisers that kind of help support. So what else are you guys doing along with the programs with the kids?
So a couple things. One, I think one of the most important resources is when it comes to this topic, we're going to have a lot of young people, even parents, that are using dietary supplements that will be sitting on the shelves, in their kitchen. And when they hear this video or they see this video, they'll be like, wow, well, how do I know if I have a good product or not? So one of the recommendations we have, an organization that we work with, it's a nonprofit. They're based in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's called NSF Certified for Sport.
Okay.
And what NSF does is, let's say you and I had our own supplement company and we wanted to certify our product, basically meaning they're going to look at every ingredient that's on the label within that product and ensure that it's in there. They also make sure that it's free of over 270 banned substances. Okay. They check the raw material, where the raw materials are coming from. They look at the facilities to ensure they're clean. And so if you just Googled nsfsport.com or NSF Certified for Sport, it'll come up. What's cool is you can download an app, you can scan the barcodes on it, you can look for specific products.
Oh, that's awesome.
But a lot of people ask us, well, what brands do you recommend? Basically what I tell people, if it's not NSF certified, you are putting your health in the hands of a dietary supplement manufacturer. And it's like, if it were my child, or if it was myself, I want to know that what I'm putting in my body is actually what's in that product. And the only way for me to know that is by using an NSF certified product.
Okay. And so you said earlier about the items, the products that are banned.
Yes.
And that's also on your website.
It would be on their website.
Oh, it's on their website. Okay.
So banned substances would typically fall under the World Anti-Doping Agency. So like the NCAA, for example, will have their list of banned substances. The Olympics will have their list of banned substances. The NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball. They're all going to be very similar. Okay. So if you are a drug tested athlete, that's very important to know. Okay.
Well, we'll make sure that we get that on the Facebook page. And again, what is that?
NSF Certified.
Yes, that's one. We'll get on.
NSF Certified for Sport.
Okay. So tell us, people are kind of quiet out there right now. So just what else is going on? What are you thinking for the future that you guys want to do also?
We would like to start more, have a more female focused type program, because, this is, one of the fastest growing user groups when it comes to anabolic steroids is high school girls.
Oh, wow.
It's a fact,
okay.
Right? They're looking, whether it's, lose weight, cutting fat, all that sort of stuff. So, being able to put together a program specifically for females, having, whether it's a female sports dietitian or somebody that can speak to this group of females, because the way you guys communicate with each other is different than when a male and a female communicate. Mm-hmm. It's just like a male and a male. And, we feel that, that sort of program would lend itself to, probably some really private questions that another female might feel more comfortable answering. So we've got that going on. We're looking to update we've got an e-learning tool that we'd like to really update to give, people access to. Recently, we've had our program approved by the National Athletic Trainers Association. So if we have an athletic trainer that's watching, we can come in and do a program for your group. You can offer them continuing education units, which is unbelievable. But really we're looking for ways to continue to spread awareness, but most importantly, inspire people to want to do things the right way.
Wonderful. I think that this is so fantastic. So we'll put all the information on the Facebook page after we're finished up here. But so I guess I'm wondering, and it's just my thought process. I mean, you've put a lot out there. So how do they, like the high school coaches, do they reach out to you, or is it something that you reach out to them via, email? I mean, so how they just give you a buzz and say, hey, we want to be, have you come out to the school and give your program? Is that simple?
So, yeah, I mean, if anybody's interested in a program, you can go to our website, or send an email to info@taylorhooton.org. Say, hey, I saw this, thing on Facebook, or, we've heard about your program. We'd love to have it at our school, and we'll contact you. We do reach out to schools, but the main source of our programs is going to be word of mouth. For example, on Thursday, I'm flying up to Washington State for a program where I'll speak to athletic trainers across Washington. So Friday, I'll have this program. You have a couple hundred people in the room that represent middle schools and high schools, even colleges across the state.
Oh, wow.
So it gives us an opportunity, one, to provide an education program to them, but two, it gives them the opportunity to say, hey, I'd love to bring this into our school and have them come in and talk to our kids.
Oh, that is fantastic. So it looks like you guys have a whole lot to learn from Don about all of this. So give him a call. So is there anything, I apologize. Everybody's just really quiet out there today. And we've got about 5 minutes left. So, I mean, we can say goodbye. I would love to sit here and keep talking.
Yeah.
So if there's anything, what about you guys? Do y'all have any questions? Anything that's come through your thoughts at all about any of this? No?
Do you educate doctors?
That's a really good question. So the question was, do we do education programs for doctors? We have. But what people need to understand is, let's say you've got a cold. You go into the doctor's office, there's a medical code they can bill it to, there's a medical protocol on how to treat that, and prescription drugs and what have you. Or over the counter, whatever it might be. When it comes to the use of anabolic steroids, there is no medical code, and this has been 15 years since Taylor's passed away. There's no medical code for a doctor to treat a patient or bill it back to their insurance. And there's not a whole lot of detailed information of how to treat a patient that is using anabolic steroids. And there are some doctors that we have in our network that are, well versed in doing that, but that's one of our next big steps is to get key groups of doctors together to say, how are we going to be compassionate with these patients, because they do need help, and you experience a lot of crazy side effects with these drugs, and how do we train more doctors to know what to look for when they come into the doctor's office, because Taylor's family, or our family physician, missed it, the dermatologist missed it, and the orthopedic surgeon, after he put his hand through a wall and they thought it was broken, missed it. The question never got asked. So, but how do we get doctors all on the same page to say, okay, hey, at least ask the patient, is this a drug that you're using? If so, how can we help you?
Very cool. Very good. Thank you for that. That was a good question.
Yeah, really good question.
So with that, I guess if somebody starts using it for a couple of years, and I know medically you can't go that direction, but I mean, can their body recoup? Is that possible to get healthy again?
So, yeah, I mean, it's really kind of hard to explain. You would need an endocrinologist or somebody that's specialized in internal medicine. From what I understand, if you're using the drugs for a short period of time, the body can recoup. But from what I also understand, those that have been using these drugs for a long period of time, their body's no longer producing the natural testosterone it needs. So there can be a lot of long-term health side effects that go along with short and long-term use. However, with any sort of use, short and long-term, one of the most important muscles in our body that are affected is our heart, our cardiovascular system. So, that leads to heart disease. We've had people that have approached us that have had strokes, heart attacks, those sorts of things. So that's one of the key things that you need to be worried about. But, long-term, short-term, there's just not a whole lot of data out there as far as, what's going on. But there are doctors that, are looking at that sort of thing.
Very good, very good. Well, it looks like we've got a few minutes, but we'll go ahead and stop. And again, if you guys have any questions later, please do not hesitate to type them in or reach out to Don and he can address them. Thank you guys so much. Thank you,
thank
Don.
you. This is
It was
awesome.
so
Thank you so
cool.
much.
We enjoyed this. I didn't know a whole lot about this, so it's really cool to really be able to understand a lot more of it. So we thank you for your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Hope this was helpful and
I think it
informative.
will
and
be.
at least starts a
It'll-
conversation.
Absolutely. If we can help one person through all this,
Exactly.
and it was worth it. Thank you guys so much. Again, we'll get all the information on the Facebook page, and we'll see you guys next month. Thank you.